This evening, I want to talk to you about the Applied Science Extended Certificate course, which you can choose to study with us from next year. While I show the PowerPoint and go through the slides, you'll hear some information about the course. If you have any questions as we go along, please remember them and you can type them into the chat at the side, and then I'll take any questions and give you answers at the end. Thank you. There are 5 people who might teach you over the next 2 years. Lucy Banham is the subject coordinator and teaches some of the biology aspects of the course. Chris Astley teaches some chemistry. Di Munro the physics. Derek Charteris, that's me, and I teach the chemistry parts of the course. And Sinead Moore teaches the biology. In any 1 year, you probably will only have 3 of these people, but over the 2 years, you might have most of them. Why choose to do a BTech qualification? If your reason is because you think it's easier than A-levels, or that we can manage your grade in some way, or that it's designed for lower ability, lower level GCSE students, then I'm afraid you're wrong. None of that is true. I don't think it's ever been true. If, on the other hand, you think it's an opportunity to be assessed in a variety of ways, that you've got the opportunity to develop industry-related skills, and you realize that it's designed for people of similar academic ability to that required for A-levels, and I realize many of you may be on an A-level course for your other 2 subjects or some A-level courses, then the course is for you. And I would say the big advantage of BTech over A-levels is that it's a good preparation for university courses. Many university courses are assessed in a very similar way to BTech, with assignments, with coursework, which is taken in and marked and has to be referenced, essays and so on. Very few subjects these days have just tests and exams at the end of the 3-year degree. The Extended Certificate in Applied Science consists of 4 units. 3 of those units are compulsory. During the first year, you do 2 units. One of them is the exams unit, and this is the principles and applications of science, where you will learn about physics, biology and chemistry, aspects of each, and then you have an exam based on those. In fact, you have 3 exams, the physics, the biology and the chemistry, but the marks are combined to give you 1 overall grade, pass, merit or distinction in that unit. Unit 2 is the practical scientific procedures and techniques, and this is my favourite unit of the Extended Certificate course, because in this you'll develop good practical skills in a range of different investigations. So you'll develop skills in titration, in colorimetry, in chromatography, and in calorimetry. Those are specific scientific skills, and they involve practical abilities as well as knowing what to do and how to do it safely. But at the same time, you develop a lot of very transferable skills, such as personal organization skills, about planning, about evaluating and analyzing results you get and data. So all of those things come into the Unit 2, and Unit 2 is a big unit with a lot of practical work involved. During Year 2, you do 2 more units. The first of these is another compulsory unit. Unit 1 and 2 in Year 1 are compulsory units for Extended Certificate. And that's the Science Investigation Skills unit in Year 2. And this comprises of an investigation you would have to do, get results of, and you do this in 1 lesson where they tell you what to do. You'll get the results, and in another lesson on another date, you get some question papers based on those results. So you give your results, you do analysis of the results, you analyze them, you evaluate them. Then you plan another investigation altogether. And thirdly, you evaluate somebody else's investigation and results. All of those have to be done, and that's an external unit, as Unit 1 is. So Unit 1 and 3 are externally assessed units. 2 and 12 we assess within the college. And Unit 3 can involve enzymes, fuels, plants, molecular diffusion, and electrical circuits, mainly. Unit 12 is one we choose. So Unit 12 is an optional unit. We have to choose 4 units altogether. This is the one at the moment we're choosing because it's the one that most people find very interesting, because we all have diseases and infections in our life. I'm all interested in how to stop them and how to cure them. And it's applicable for many careers that people choose to go into. So we learn about infectious and non-infectious diseases. The non-infectious ones would include genetic diseases, environmental diseases, and degenerative diseases. Infections makes up, though, the biggest part of this unit, and we learn about how infections are spread, how the spread of infections can be prevented, and then how infectious diseases can be treated. And you'll realise this is very topical at the moment with the current pandemic, which is an infectious disease. And one part of that is we learn how big agencies like the WHO, like Oxfam, like Stop Malaria Now, various charities, how they work effectively to try and tackle certain diseases. Overall, those 4 units make up the equivalent of 1 A-level, which is what the extended certificate course is. How are you assessed? Well, lots of different ways. Practicals, lab reports, PowerPoints that you produce, posters that you produce, leaflets. And it could be leaflets aimed at audiences such as the general public, or a leaflet aimed at nurses. Projects you complete, tests and exams, of course, there are some of those. Booklets you produce, and coursework. So a lot of different assessment styles, some of which you'll really enjoy and will suit you. Essays is a possibility as well, and videos. Occasionally we get people to make a video rather than a PowerPoint or poster. You're graded within each unit. So every unit has a number of criteria. Some of those criteria are pass level, some are merit level, some are distinction level. Overall, for a unit, if you want to achieve a distinction, you have to achieve all the pass, all the merit, and all the distinction criteria. To achieve a merit in a unit, you have to complete and achieve all the pass and all the merit criteria. So if you fail one of the distinction criteria, you can only get a merit within that unit. If you fail one of the merit, you can only get a pass in that unit. To help you a little bit, there is one chance at resubmission of work, assignment work, which is you get an extra, when you get the work back, you get an extra 2 weeks to improve it and give it in again. Okay, so you do get the opportunity to improve your work and make sure you've passed it and achieve the highest possible standard for you. Overall, the grade for the extended certificate is an average of the units. So you've got 4 units, the average of those is converted to a pass, merit, distinction overall, and it's points. And if you look at this table here, this is for lots of different level 3 qualifications, but you can see here there were different tariff points. So there's us, the BTech extended certificate, and you can see that a D star in the extended certificate is worth exactly the same as an A star A level, 56 points. A distinction at BTech extended certificate is worth the same as an A grade. A merit is worth the same as a C grade, 32 points. and a pass is the same as an E grade, 16 UCAS points. When you're applying for a course, they will normally give you a tariff which they want you to achieve in order to get your place. You have a lot of resources available to help you. One of those is Orange Zone, which is the science, technology, engineering and maths zone. It's the orange pod within the building that sticks out on one side. And in there are books, there are computer facilities, and there are people to help you. You have a personal progress tutor, a PPT. They will meet with you to have tutorials. They'll also be the one you go to for any personal advice and guidance, help with doing your applications, in writing your personal statement for applying to university or applying for a job or apprenticeship. The LRC is a learning resource centre which looks like the space pod on the middle floor of the building, perched above the canteen. Moodle is a virtual learning environment which is available where we put all our materials, so all the lesson PowerPoints, worksheets, homeworks, and lots of useful resources go on to Moodle for applied science. We also run lunch support sessions, lessons, of course, links to reading lists, links to web resources, and homework forums. One of the most useful things at Suffolk One is the One dashboard which you get, because the One dashboard is where you can see your timetable, you can see your teachers, and you can see how you're doing. So within a subject, you've got an overview within applied science of all the units, where you see for the units you do, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 and Unit 12, you will see by the end of the course your grade in each unit. And it will give you a working grade, what you're going to get overall, given the grades you've already got. And it will give you a working grade as soon as you've got one unit in. You can also select, so let's just have a look at that bit with all the units there. You can also click on the drop down for the overview, and then you pick on one particular unit. So for example, if I clicked on Unit 2, Practical Scientific Procedures and Techniques, it would then break that down into each criteria. So P1 and P2, 2 pass criteria are done in the first assignment within that unit, and there's a merit criteria in that assignment and a distinction criteria. So there are 4 different criteria. If you achieve all of them, then for the first assignment, you'll have a distinction. But remember, finally, if you have any questions about the course, anything I've not covered or anything you don't quite understand, please type the questions into the chat area at the side of the Teams presentation, Teams live event, and I'll attempt to answer them. It will take about 30 seconds for each question to come through and for me to answer them, so please be patient with that. And finally, I'll say I hope I've been a bit informative as we've been through. There are lots of potential careers and jobs you can go into after applied science extended certificate. Thank you.